The Sunglass Hut underpaid their staff. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Dorian Heise here. Welcome to another episode of Heise Says. Still have my morning stein of coffee, and I thought we'd look through this article about the Sunglass Hut underpaying their staff. And before we look at it, let's jump to their website and have a look at them. I mean, this will shock you, I know. I know what I'm about to say will shock you, but I am not up with the latest fashion trends. I know that's shocking to a lot of you, but I have had to spend a lot on glasses, but not really sunglasses. I guess it's because, you know, working in a business job, well, to be honest, I just get the glasses that changed. I couldn't be bothered. That would change from light to dark, which kind of sucked if you went to lighting that had UV in an interior environment, but, you know, them's the breaks. So here's the brand. I only know of them from, you know, retail environments when we were working there, and they were surrounding tendencies that we worked on or around. But, you know, it's glasses. I mean, Tiffany & Co. I mean, everyone has a brand of glasses, and they are generally, or sunglasses, they're generally way more expensive than they need to be. I wonder, you know, now that I've got the name Sunglass in this title, let me know in the comments if you got an advertisement for those titanium glasses that they keep plugging. Not sponsored content, but, you know, it'd be funny. So let's have a look at this article here. Sunglass Hut staff underpaid $2.3 million. $2.3 million. That's a lot of sunglasses. Well, is it a lot of sunglasses? How much do you pay for them these days? $500, $1,000? Hang on, wait. Let's just jump here to shop now and see how much they're charging. Oh, Oakley's $225. Versace, okay. Prada, $400. They're not that expensive. Oh, okay. Round sunglasses, $1,000. $700, $700. Okay, yeah, that's. Would you consider those a luxury item, guys? $1,000 sunglasses? You know, here we go. Now, if we get any more government handout money, who's going to spend it on some round sunglasses for $1,000? Because I'm sure this will create a whole lot of employment in the Australian sector. It'll help pay the rent for a retailer and go to a large, you know, probably international held property, but still. And people wonder why internet shopping is getting more popular. So hundreds of Sunglass Hut workers were underpaid $2.3 million in penalty rates in a period spanning nearly 6 years, but the retailer won't be prosecuted. Luxottica Retail Australia, trading as Sunglass Hut, will enter a court-enforceable undertaking to repay the cash and has agreed to a $50,000 contrition payment, the Fair Work Ombudsman revealed on Monday. Between 2010 and 2016, Sunglass Hut failed to reach an agreement with part-time workers in what it called an inadvertent contravention of the General Retail Industry Award. Okay, why didn't they just pay them the award? As a result, it didn't pay $2.2 million in overtime rates for work performed outside regular hours to 260 employees at 253 stores across the country. Sunglass Hut confirms it inadvertently contravened Section 45 of the Fair Work Act 2009 by not adhering to terms in relation to part-time employment from the 1st of January 2010 to October 2016, the retailer said in a statement. Sunglass Hut self-reported to the workplace watchdog. See, this is the funny thing here. Okay? They self-reported to the watchdog. Their internal staff identified the issue and they reported to the watchdog themselves. You know, I'm cynical. This is the problem when people say more and more legislation will solve all the problems and these things. Any encounter I've had with some of these bodies trying to report illegal activity has been completely ignored. Completely ignored. We've tried to report architectural practices that would take work experience kids on for 1-year contracts and getting them to do the paid work on projects, or the work that was earning them money on projects, which is illegal under our legislation. What happens? Nope. Court went nowhere. None of that. I've reported organisations to the ACCC for illegal behaviour, for breaching APRA requirements, for breaching licensing requirements, for ASIC, for providing financial services. What happened to it? Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, it's too hard. I've reported organisations that were undertaking illegal building work to QBCC. What happened? Nothing. It's too hard. So you'll forgive me if I've gotten to the point now where I've become very cynical about all of these government organisations, and I'm becoming less and less inclined to believe the safety theatre that they create. That's why I'm leaning more towards solutions like I would say the two certifier solution, looking at ways that the market can provide increased benefit for consumers rather than depending on the big government. Because I haven't seen anything good come of it. Because, if it weren't for them, Sunglass Hut, do you reckon this would have come to light? So the big bad workers, the big bag organisation dobbed themselves in. So it has already back paid 1.4 million with 800,000 outstanding. So they've already taken steps to address this. As a gesture of contrition, Sunglass Hut must also hand over $50,000 to the National Association of Community Legal Centres. So, I'm not familiar with that organisation, and I hope they provide services to a variety of people, which is good. It's better going to them than to the government watchdog that's doing nothing. Maybe they should have donated it to the West Australian Potato Board or market regulator. I'm still annoyed about that, guys. Sunglass Hut has made significant repayments to the affected employees, expressing its sincere regret and apologies to employees for failing to comply with the modern award, the company added. The Fair Work Ombudsman, Sandra Parker, said the undertaking was appropriate as the company had committed to overhauling workplace practices and rectifying all underpayments. Sunglass Hut breached workplace laws, and their conduct falls short of lawful obligations to their employees and community expectations, Ms. Parker said. This matter highlights that if employers incorrectly apply award conditions, it can have extensive and expensive consequences across the business for years to come. Sunglass Hut must call in external auditors to check paying conditions for workers every year until the undertaking ends in 2022. So, let's have a look at this award. So let's look at the pay guide for the General Retail Industry Award 2010, published in the 20th of September 2019. Because people are telling me, Florian, no one earns $50 an hour. That never happens. They're 12, the poor workers. Yeah, no, not true. Let's look at the rate of pay. This is for an adult, full-time and part-time. So this is the different level of the retail workers, their weekly pay, their hourly pay, and here's their shift work. So you can see if they're doing public holiday, non-shift workers, and you brought them in, so say you're running a retail business and you need to bring in some staff, $50 an hour, up to $58 an hour. So I'm not saying it happens all the time, but I'm saying there are circumstances where people who are normally paid, $22 an hour, are up to $50 an hour. Is it sustainable? If they want to work, they have the choice. So it's something to keep in mind. And these costs blow out the expenses of businesses. That's why you see a lot of, particularly in the restaurant sector, where often they won't open on public holidays anymore because it costs so much to bring their workers in. Even the shift workers, there you go. They're cheaper, but they're still more expensive. Saturday, non-shift workers, if you bring them in there. An evening, Monday to Friday after 6 p.m. So you get up to $32 from $26. And this is just for normal people. So you can see that this adds an element of complexity to it. And here we go. These are different public holiday shift workers. And look at the early morning shift, baking product employees, night employees. Here you go, $50, overtime, holiday, public holiday, $65. So you can see where some of these organizations who have, perhaps external requirements, maybe from the franchise they're a part of, to ensure they're operating at certain times, can get their costs significantly blown out for no increase in productivity. But people need these public holidays flowing in. Yeah, and they can choose to work and choose not to work. So guys, this is correct as of now. They applied from the 1st of July 2019. They changed it July each year. And so, you know, it's just something to be aware of, guys. When I'm saying $50 an hour, I'm not making it up. And these are costs for businesses. And the problem is, you know, that this destroys opportunity for employment when you have to pay people such a high level. When you have to pay people such a high level. That's the thing. There'll be some people that aren't even worth $21 an hour. Sad but true. And they don't have the opportunity to work then. Because these minimum rates, these minimum wages, they will create an element of unemployment, and that is what you have to accept. And that's where I want to look at this cashless card, cashless welfare. It really doesn't sit right with me. You know, that they're by having these rules in place, you are going to have some unemployment in your civilization. And then you have a responsibility, because if you have this in place, everyone who takes advantage of this, I would argue, has a responsibility to ensure those people that are not capable of meeting these productivity requirements are taken care of. So it becomes a mess. That's why I would argue for simplification of the whole system. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I'm sure this will be a topic for discussion. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.